Hi, this is Frank from Power Concepts, and I want to show you a solution for a common problem that I hear. How can I get a 2-week look-ahead report? And we can go into reports and we can manually apply a filter, and there is a filter, pick this date to this date, but it's tedious to do that. So I want to show you how we can automatically do that. So I've got this project here, and it started on November 1st, and I have the current date as November 17th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, just for simplicity here, I'm going to hide some of these other columns that I don't need. And so I can just see these tasks, the duration, the start, the finish, and I'm going to add a new column here, and I'm going to add a flag. So I'm going to add flag 1, and I'm going to right click on that flag, and I'm going to go to custom fields, and every time I add a custom field, I'm always rename it. So I'm going to rename this one, and I'm going to say this is going to be current date. I just say current date plus 14. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to hit OK. So this is the current date plus 14, and what I can do is I could manually click in here and I can switch a few things to yes, to say okay, these are the items that are current right now. In a minute, I'm going to show you how we can set this to automatically be done. What we can do with this is these items here, then, we can change the color on the screen and we can use them as a filter for reports. So let's do both of those now, and then let's see how those automatically are going to change. First of all, on this Gantt chart, I'm going to go to bar styles. I'm going to slide to the bottom, and I'm going to add a new row. This is going to be current date plus 14. I'm going to pick a great color on here, so I'm going to just say, okay, how about we make that green and a nice solid color. And here's who it's going to show up for. Basically anything where the flag 1 is yes. And so I'm going to hit OK, and you're going to see that all those tasks that I've chosen yes are automatically changing. And I can pick any item that I want, manually change this, and it will change. And I can use this manually for lots of things, like say adding a change order or a task that requires some special attention for whatever criteria that I want. So this is great. Now let's go to our reports. So I can go to report. I'll bring a new report, and I'm just going to get a table. I'm going to call this one current date plus 2 weeks. It's showing me a default table. I'm going to go down here to outline level, and I'm going to include all subtasks, and I'm also going to show the hierarchy. Make the task a little bit wider. Tighten that up. Okay, so here's the report. It's showing all the tasks, but I only want to see the ones where the flag is turned to yes. So I'm going to go to the filter here, and I'm going to have to build a brand new filter. So I'm going to go down here to new filter, and I'm going to call this one current date plus 2 weeks. And on the field name here, I can go to flag 1. Luckily the name is showing up there, and where the test is equals to yes. And I'm going to hit save. And now it's going to apply that filter to this report. I'm going to manage this report, so that means I'm going to rename it. Current date plus 2 weeks is a good name. I can hit OK. And I'm going to go back to my Gantt chart. And anytime I change things, I go in here and I make this a yes. I'll filter this whole section. I'll make this whole section no. So now I've got interviews, space planner, etc. When I go back to my report, to my custom reports, here's my current date plus 2 weeks. It shows me just those tasks. So this is great. I can change the Gantt chart and I can change this. The part that I don't like is having to sort of manually select that date all the time, manually select all those fields. So we're going to put in a formula that's going to do this for us automatically. So here, let's go back to this column. This is the current date plus 14. And right click on here. I'm going to go to custom fields. And I'm going to make this field a formula. And the formula will have to do with the current date. So I'm going to have to say, okay, where this field, where the date, and it has to do where is the start date greater than or equal to now. So for now, we're going to use this function, date and time, and we're going to find now. This is going to look at the time on my computer. And so it's going to start is greater than or equal to now. And it also has to be where the start is less than or equal to now plus 14. Now, one thing about these little formulas is when I use the selectors, it puts a space in between them. And so I actually have to delete the space to make this a greater than or equal to, else I will get an error as it looks at it as two separate functions. Also here, the less than or equal to, I have to delete the space between it. So here it's saying anything where the start is greater than or equal to now, and the start is less than or equal to now plus 14. So when I hit OK, it's going to say it's going to delete all the data that's in there, and I'm okay with that, and I'm going to hit OK. And you're going to see it automatically is going to adjust for the current date of the project. Now, this is going to exclude tasks that are already in progress. And you may want to also include the tasks that are already in progress. So let's give that a try. I'm going to right click here, custom fields, go to the formula, and at the end of that, I'm going to put an OR statement. So I'm going to say OR, put one space in there, OR, where the start date is less than, I'm going to backspace right now, or equal to now. Of course, this will give all the tasks that are prior to now, but I'm going to put another condition in here. And now is less than or equal to, get rid of that space, the finish date of the task. So if a task has already started and the finish date is after now, as in the finish date is greater than now, or now is less than the finish date, then this is also going to include the current tasks in here. And hit OK, and hit OK, and we're going to see a few more tasks go yes. So this is going to include any task that's currently going and any task that's going in the next 2 weeks. Now, we can also add another, or we can change this to not be based on now. Sometimes I want a little more control over this. And so what I like to do in all my projects is on the project, I like to work with the status date, and everything revolves around the status date. I like this so much, the status date, that I've added this to my quick access toolbar. So I'm going to click on status date here. Okay, so here's the status date showing up. So what I want is everything to revolve around the date that I pick. And this makes it really easy for me to run a report from any status date. So I'm going to hit OK. So we're going to just change that same formula, but now instead of looking at now, we're going to look at the status date. So let's try that again. Right click, custom fields, click on that flag, I can go to the formula, and so wherever it says now, I'm just going to delete that. And for the field, I'm going to go to the project date, status date. Again, do the same, delete the now here. Field, project, date, status date. Save some time. I'm just going to copy this and go here to now. Put in the status date, and right here I'm going to go delete this and put in the status date. So let's look at the formula again. Where the start is greater than or equal to the status date, and the start is less than or equal to the status date plus 14. That's going to show the tasks in that range. Or where the start is less than or equal to status date and the status date is less than or equal to the finish. That's going to show us all of our current tasks. So now I can hit OK and hit OK. And here's the report that's showing me all the current tasks. You can see the status line here, everything that's in progress, and everything that's going to happen over the next 2 weeks. If I change the status date, and I'll move this forward, say 2 weeks from now, and hit OK, everything automatically changes. The status stays here. It shows me all the current tasks and any tasks that are coming up in the next 2 weeks. And so this makes it really easy to do that. Now also let's have a look at the report. So I go to the reports and I go to my custom report. Here's my current one. It's going to show all the tasks in that range that I chose, including the current tasks. Great, I hope you find that useful, and I look forward to any feedback that you have on it. Thank you.